Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Gruber Wired Hour. I'm Mark Beach.
I'm John Dotson, and welcome once again.
Yes, it's getting, I know we're not a broken record, right? But it's getting hot in Phoenix.
It is. What are we at, 114 today?
114, but not for the faint of heart.
No, but the dew point is up, right? We were just talking about that.
Too, so yeah, it's more humid.
A little more humid, which means hopefully we'll get some monsoons this year and get some nice rain that we much
Those
much
big
needed.
puffy clouds are starting to come out up north, I see.
I know. Yeah,
that's a good sign.
There's a little bit dust in the air day. We were talking about that earlier. They just had a huge dust storm you brought up, in fact, in New
West
Mexico?
Texas and New Mexico, yeah.
And I think we're seeing some of the remnants of that coming down today.
There's a really cool satellite feed watching that dust storm just roll.
Yeah, nature's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So, yeah, good stuff going on. Hey, we got some new camera angles going on in here.
Yeah, there we go.
Our production crew has been hard at work. See, look at that. So good stuff going on.
Yeah.
Speaking of our production crew, hey guys, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourselves for a moment? We don't give you guys enough credit for all that you do. So start with you, Jesse. We'll go down the line.
Hello.
Put him on the spot there, didn't you?
Put him on the spot.
And we actually have, I know I don't have mine, but you do have.
Oh, your mic?
The cast cam.
Cast cam.
There we go. Cass Cam. There she is. Look at that.
There you go.
Okay.
Welcome back. Hey, if you guys don't know Cass, she's been missing in action for a little while, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
Just a little bit?
Yeah.
Look at the scar. She has give us a little bit of detail what took place.
I had a really bad motorcycle accident. I hit gravel during a hairpin turn during the Tortilla Flats, and I fell 150 feet into a ravine. Granted, I wear full gear. I'm pretty sure I got that scar because my visor or my helmet had hit a rock just right that my visor popped off, and that's that, and I have a graft on my arm, but I walked away with no spinal injuries because of my gear.
Oh, good. Yeah, very nice. So,
That's scary, huh?
It's very scary. In fact, on a scare factor, how was that for you?
I don't remember any of the accident. Everything that I told you was all told to me. I've been on a motorcycle a few times since the accident. The subconscious likes to remind me that right turns can be dangerous.
Yeah.
Right.
But it sounds like you did everything safe as you could. Helmet, gear. And so, we trust people, be safe when you're out there, especially you riding a motorcycle here in the Phoenix area.
Absolutely, yeah. There's
that, and right now too. If you wear gear, make sure you have water.
Yeah, good point.
And I say wear gear all the time. I survive because of my gear, but yeah.
There's a lot of motorcycle haters out here too. I mean, my son got run into by somebody who just didn't like him being on a motorcycle.
Really?
Yeah.
Just
sideswiped him as he was getting on the freeway. It was a little more than a nudge, ended up in the hospital. So there's people out there who are not fans.
Yeah, and just so you know, if you're ever driving your vehicle and you're seeing, motorcycles across the way, if you just put your thumb up in your line of sight, they disappear. I mean, you don't realize compared to the mass of a vehicle, how much actually, mass is there in a motorcycle. So they're very difficult to see to begin with.
Right. Right.
So PSA announcement for the day.
That's why I like so I actually have in my car, instead of the mirror rear view, I have it's a screen.
Oh, okay.
And there's a camera in the back that I mounted in the back window. And it's got like a 160 degree view or 140 degrees, something like that.
Oh, nice.
So when something is going out of the camera view on the screen there, they are right in my line of sight on my left and right.
No blind spots anymore.
Yep.
See, and that's, it's kind of what we're talking about today with technology and advancements in technology and trends. Probably even up to 20 years ago, we didn't have technology to be able to have cameras in an everyday vehicle.
Right. No, it's great. It used to be all the dash cam stuff was coming from Russia.
Was it?
They had them I swear, when you're on YouTube or whatever, they had all their little Russia cams. But now it's now everybody's got them. And that camera, the mirror that I was telling you about is a forward-facing camera and rear-facing camera. So there's a constant recording of both with GPS in it, so it knows exactly where you are and all that kind of stuff.
Very cool.
Yeah,
good stuff. Hey, you got some people chiming in. Highlander, hello. Yes, but he says it's a dry heat, guys.
No, it's not.
Yeah, I mean, it's still a little wet out there.
It's starting to steam up a little bit.
And then Pete chimed in, that new lens makes the background owl so crisp it looks dangerous. I love this owl you came up with.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. Yeah.
You know?
I like that. Yeah, it's a very detailed owl.
Yeah, and the reasoning behind choosing an owl for today's thumbnail?
What's that?
Did you have a reason for choosing an owl?
An owl's wise. We were going to talk about future stuff and, technology in the future and all that kind of good stuff.
Yeah, so just symbolism of what's coming.
Yeah, just kind of, cool. The sage, wise owl.
Right? We have up there, it says, that does look pretty scary. White on white with the partly already there. Yeah. Awesome. No room for hatred. Kindness is always free. That is very true. Always. Kindness is free, so please be kind.
Be kind. Rewind.
Be very kind. Pete's asking, where's Aaron? Aaron, hello. You want to chime in for us?
There he is.
What's going on?
Hey, brother. We got all kind of cameras up in this place.
I know. So, Aaron, really quick, you're part of this team that, behind the scenes. What exactly do you do for us there?
Social media posting, doing some reels with Pete and other people, posting a lot, and helping out with the podcast.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, we thank all of you guys so much. You guys, you're kind of behind the scenes doing all the grunt work there that we say grunt work, but you guys are really more technical than I'll ever be. And thank you guys very much for all that you do.
Yep. Kudos.
Appreciate it. So today's episode, we're going to get on talking about trends, what's up and coming, maybe some things that have happened already that we're aware of too in regards to technology. So we're just going to kind of dive right on in, huh?
Yeah, let's go.
So things are taking place, and they're taking place fast, and what we're seeing is transmission rates, right? Mm-hmm. They're just cruising, and we're starting to see that level just jump.
And I'll tell you, in the last 3 months, I think I have gotten more requests for MTP, MPO, the SFP modules, which are so in a switch, you have there are little modules that click in, and they can be LC connectors. They can also be MPO connectors.
Yeah.
And that's the fiber back channel connection out of the switch. So you can come out with copper, but you can also come out with these fiber modules, and they have one big advantage that copper doesn't have, and that's distance.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, being able to push that signal and that band and just keep that going.
Right. Copper has an attenuation, and so it has a usable distance, and light is much more significant.
As long as you're not disrupting that light,
right,
you're good to go.
Right. It's going to get from point A to point B.
Yeah, very true. Do you have
at the speed of light?
The speed of light, it's coming our way. Picture number 1 will show actually the references of this and where we're at in data transmission speeds. Jesse will bring that up for us here in a moment. But yeah, it just seems like the improvements just keep on going and going. You can kind of see here the measurement of those data rates.
Right. So we're all familiar with BPS. Yeah, that was the dial-up days.
Yeah.
Right.
and being very impatient, waiting for that to come up on you there.
Right. And I remember the first modem I bought was a 14.4, so 14.4K.
4K, yeah.
Yeah, which was a U.S. Robotics modem. And I thought I was really cruising then.
Yeah.
But there were no graphics. So all of the internet was, or all dial-up was, it wasn't even really the internet, was textual. It's all text-based.
Yeah, that's all it was to begin with.
Yep.
And then we advance, of course, throughout time, and then you get to kilobits, megabits on the gigabits, terabits, and then petabits. This is something that you don't see. It's not as common, right? Because it's not needed yet, basically. Not with where we're at right now.
But with AI, with all of the technology that's going into all the things around us, like electric vehicles, even, when they're talking about smart cities, smart roadways, smart highways, the data need is going to just increase exponentially over time.
Sure.
Yep.
Yeah, most definitely, and it's just going to continue to grow. Gotta love that shirt, Aaron. Looking pretty snappy, young man. That's from Highlander there, Aaron.
Thank you, Highlander.
Show us the shirt again.
Look
Check
at
that out.
Yeah,
Hey,
there we go.
I got it in Puerto Rico during our honeymoon.
Did you?
Yeah, so we went
cool.
tarpon fishing, and I handled one of the tarpon. I got slime all over this other shirt, and we were going out to lunch after that. So I ran into a shop, bought this, and now I own it.
There you go. It looks comfortable. One of those comfy shirts.
Yes, definitely good for the heat. Lightweight, breathable.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, just like she was talking about being geared up and taking your water out there. People stop to think, don't layer up in the heat. Wear clothes that are breathable as well.
Yes. Well,
the struggle that I have to go through right now because I have my graft on my arm. It can't see sunlight, and I have to have a headband on because my scar can't see sunlight either. So I have to be all wrapped up.
It's a cool vibe, though.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, very cool stuff. Go ahead and pull up picture number 2. And here we're going to talk about, we're just seeing an increased use in fiber optics.
Right.
Like we were talking about the speeds and the transmission rates going up. This is really going to be, again, we talk about this quite often, but this is where the future is.
It is. And it's some great advantages of fiber optics is it's not subject to like RF interference. So unless you're going to interrupt the light flow itself, outside influences are not going to play a role in that. Right.
Yeah, and we're starting to see this, take I guess more hold as far as infrastructure goes. I was taking a look today. This fiber optic infrastructure is being laid in Alabama, Kentucky, here in Arizona, over in Scottsdale. Google itself is laying a lot of fiber underlying infrastructure to support the needs of the growing, urban city and growth that's out there.
I know they got to be doing something like that in my neighborhood. Even though I have fiber, I think they're doing some big project because there are all these trucks out there right now. It took me 10 minutes to get out of my own neighborhood this morning because they're like jackhammering at intervals. And I'm like, okay, they got to be like running conduit or something.
Yeah, so we're going to see that infrastructure continue with growth. And there's a few other states. New York's doing quite a bit right now. Right. I think Montana, which kind of shocked me because Montana doesn't have a huge population base, but apparently there's a need for growing infrastructure there. Right. So I'm kind of believing you're going to see a lot more of a major...
all those celebrities with all the properties that they buy out there. They don't want to... They don't want to rough it too rough. Yeah. Is that a Yogi Bearism?
Is it rough it too rough?
We don't rough it too rough.
But yeah, we're going to continue to see an increase in fiber use, and it's just going to exponentially go from here. Right. And we'll be up to that petabytes. I mean, we're going to need that. And then what comes next after petabytes? I don't know. We'll see where it goes. Maybe that's the top of the food chain. I'm not sure.
You probably asked somebody 15 years ago what the top of the food chain is, and we're already past it, I bet.
Wait, what?
The top of the food chain as far as
data speeds.
Data speeds. We get to petabytes. I mean, you're going to get to zero latency at some point in time, right?
I was going to say, I don't know what your latency is with your fiber, but I just moved up, a couple miles up the road from here, and I think I'm like right on, because there are professional gamers that will move to where the actual like main servers are, so you get the lowest like 0 millisecond ping. I have a 1 millisecond ping on my fiber in North Phoenix.
I don't think mine's too. What server are you hitting?
I think it's out of. It says it's out of. When I go to the speed test, it says it's out of Vegas, but I haven't really done a deep dive.
Right.
Yeah.
So I got to ask you, being in layman's terms, I'm not a gamer. Okay, so a 1 millisecond ping, how does that affect your gaming? I mean, they're moving for this reason. So what are they looking for? I mean, one millisecond seems like nothing to me, but it could be eternity for a gamer. I don't know.
That's actually a dream. You want something that small. Yeah. 99 ping is like lag galore.
Yeah,
really.
You want something that small. You want one.
It's just a delay. So, like if we both turn a corner at the same time, you have a 100 millisecond delay, and I have a 1 millisecond delay. I'm going to see you and shoot you first in the first-person shooter game before you even know that I'm there.
That's why I have a problem playing with the kids.
Well, you got to get off that dial-up, John. I mean, that's the thing.
Yeah, right? Oh, that's funny. We can go back to picture number 3 now. We talked about this last week, right? And that is power over Ethernet. Not going to go too much detail because we did quite an episode on this last week, but this is exponentially growing with the technology. It's out there, especially when we see more, video surveillance and things of that nature.
Right.
So
there will always be a need for copper. I didn't mean to say, that fiber would be the only thing because copper will always need to be there, and PoE along with it, because it's a single run. And as we talked before, there are certain applications where it's just practical,
Yeah, it's so true. And again, talking about power over Ethernet, just remember, check your system, find out exactly what those power needs are, right? And let's stay away from copper-clad aluminum.
Yeah.
Just stay away from that.
Summarizes last week pretty much, right?
Yeah, we got a couple of actual videos coming up to show for this next little piece here. What this is the newer trend in technology for the actual jacket and the insulation around the cabling is that it's self-healing. So if you get a scratch, a tear, it repairs itself.
Sounds like that Romulan ship in Enterprise, the little drone ship.
Little drone guy. Yeah. Yeah, and it's something that Data was searching for forever. How to become human, how to be able to regrow his skin on his, artificial.
There you go.
So are we good with any of those videos yet?
Which one do you want first? Self-healing?
Yeah, either one. We're going to look at both of them. Look at that owl. Woo-hoo.
He's just chilling.
He's chilling. He's looking right at you.
He's looking at you. What are we looking at, John?
You want to listen to? The chance of copyright goes up with audio, so if I don't have to play
the audio, the visuals are okay.
Okay.
So just take a look and watch this here.
Self-healing material. I can see magic tricks. Wow. And they can put it back together. Isn't that kind of like a gecko regrowing its leg?
Right? Its tail.
Yeah.
That stuff's really cool. That also kind of reminds me of there's crafting mats that are kind of like that.
Are there? Yeah.
Yeah, not that exactly, but they're supposed to be, I'm using air quotes, self-healing, so they don't cut all the way through the craft mat.
Huh.
Interesting.
Look at that. Well, that's very cool.
I have to figure out how it does that. Is it alive or something? I don't know.
No, it has some sort of reaction to do with once the oxygen hits the material. I didn't do too much research and reading on this, but it's pretty cool stuff. So that's the first video, and as you see there, they're making these polymers now that are self-healing, so that if eventually they're going to get to the point where you can use this in a cabling situation.
Did you say palm ears?
Polymers.
I
Can't talk.
It's like palm ears.
Palm ears. Hey.
Hey, there's a second one.
Palm ears.
Yeah. Okay. Autonomous self-healing. So what is this?
Well, you're covering the bottom clock, but this is using autonomous materials. So you can see the serial bus down below is damaged.
Right.
The clock stops. The one up above. Hey, look, there you disappear.
There we go.
Magic.
Thank you. That seems a little harsh.
It's a little overkill.
Just wait.
It's aggressive.
So basically with this material, what's taking place is you're able to damage this material, remove pieces of the material, and using the autonomous effect of it, it reroutes the signal through the remaining material.
And that is pretty crazy. Yeah, that's similar to something we did a while back on GMC. There's a new battery technology that's in development called graphene. There was a guy that had a graphene battery pouch. Typically, when you puncture lithium ion, it bursts into flames and you can't put it out with water. Well, this graphene one, they stuck it on a wall and they shot it with a pistol and still ran, still had voltage, no fire, still worked perfectly fine.
Wow.
Seems similar to this.
So yeah, you have these materials that are out there now that they're working with. And so the idealisms is, and eventually, say in a data center, if you have this particular materials in your cabling and something was to take place, it gets nicked by accident or something happens, it self-heals so that you don't lose that signal of transmission right away.
Right.
So it can continue on until you can get a good repair job done. So yeah, it's just amazing what's out there and what's taking place. Pretty cool stuff.
It is. I think, we just don't even understand what we don't know right now.
No, I don't. I don't comprehend it.
That's something that who would have thunk it? But
yeah.
Really, I mean, I can see the importance of having cabling that is cut resistant like that.
Well, especially in an electrical world where you could lead to arcing. If you're using, the electrical currents,
right?
Starting fires and things like that. So, in those scenarios where you have a situation that you don't want that to happen for sure, these materials would play a vital role.
Right. For me, I would have just thought of like fix a flat, put some foam inside it, and if it cuts out, it just bleeds out and seals it back up.
Yeah. So there's just so much going to take place now. I do know, probably for the moment though, I bet these things are rather expensive. I bet the initial cost right now, but like anything else, it's always expensive to begin with. But as we develop these technologies and the cost goes down, the need goes up, and we find that happy medium.
Sure. And, I could imagine that in certain applications, you don't want, let's say you're flying an expensive jet, like a military jet.
Good application.
And you don't want to have to rip everything apart to fix something when something's mission critical, right?
Yeah.
So I can see where that would be important. You want to kind of set it in there and forget about it.
Sure. No.
Yep.
So we're going to see some good stuff with these types of polymers coming up and and what we're able to do with them in the future. So good stuff there.
Yeah.
Love it. Let's go to picture number 4, smarter and more robust cabling solutions. As we advance in technology, we're going to see technology advance in the cabling itself, like is displayed here.
Right.
We're already seeing this in regards to, like this HDMI, and we're seeing a lot of this type of technology take place where it can actually monitor the signals in real time.
Right.
Right.
And those are LED lights on there on that board, right?
Yeah.
What are they? These are HDMI?
I believe those are HDMI.
They look around. They look like USB-C.
Maybe they are USB-C.
That's what Apple just switched all their products over to finally. Yep.
I think they're USB-C, and they that Kyocera on there. What does it say? No.
Not sure the name of that.
Kakusiga, something like that. I'm not sure.
But those little yellow squares, though, are lights, aren't they?
Those are LEDs, right?
Yeah, I think so.
It's
Looks
hard
like
to
it,
tell
yeah.
from the picture, but I'm sure they are. But this is technology in real time where they'll be able to have these types of chips in there that can monitor the real time data
Right.
within a cabling system itself and give you the feedback that's necessary.
Well, I know you can buy cables now that, like, when you plug them in, it's got a little LED readout on it, and so you can see instantly.
The tracing cables.
Yeah. Not just I mean, I bought a couple on Wish, right? And I was using them to measure the amount of power that was coming out of my USB in my car.
Oh, nice.
You couldn't really tell, so the cable had it on the end of it. You just plug it in and you can see. Yeah, you can see his,
Very cool.
any of that. I'd get the little error message that would say, "You're charging too slow," and that kind of stuff. So yeah.
Wow, yeah, good stuff there. Is there something you want to touch? We're almost out of time here. It's just half hour. Let's go fast.
Well, we were talking. We've just been talking about some future stuff, but some ideas. You compiled this list of things and where they came from. Ideas that are technology today
that are a result of just thought process
50,
from years
60
past.
years ago, you know, it was kind of just an idea in a guy's head,
Yeah.
and boom, you know.
Yeah, one of the biggest factors there is, and once I did this list, I realized, wow, Gene Roddenberry had such a vision.
He did.
You know, for those of you who are Star Trek fans, you'll know this.
Yeah.
Right. But simple things like this, first on our list is the cell phone.
Yep.
And it's accredited to Gene Roddenberry and Star Trek.
And the
for
communicator.
The communicator, and getting from an idea that was presented of what future technology could bring.
Right.
And it was a catalyst for starting some of these ideas.
Right. Well, and they did, I don't know if it was Buck Rogers or not, but they did the watch TV, watch phone.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. The smartwatch was actually accredited to the show Dick Tracy.
Oh, that's right.
If you remember.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Dick Tracy had
That's
his
what I
little
was thinking of.
smartwatch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jesse's like, who's Dick Tracy?
Nope, never heard of it.
You haven't
Wow.
lived, man. You haven't lived.
You know, but things like robotics, metropolitus, in modern day robotic technologies, autonomous vehicles inspired by movies like Total Recall.
Yeah.
You know, just that whole thought process for science fiction and where things come, where they're going. It's
Didn't they
pretty
have
amazing.
autonomous vehicles in Logan's Run?
I never saw Logan's Run.
Really?
No, never seen it.
Wow.
Don't task me with watching it because it'll take months for me to get there.
Well, I mean, it's so old though. It's like it's
So
just,
old.
Logan's Run is old. It's
I'll have to look it
like
up.
70s, 80s.
Wow. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah. I have to watch it.
Yeah.
You're tasked.
Thanks. Could put me on the spot there
That's
again.
okay.
Yeah, there's just so much, you know, wearable technologies that you see nowadays are echoed in the devices from Star Trek.
Right.
You know, communicator badge and so forth, being able to communicate that way.
GPS.
GPS is another one. Just all sorts of, and the one that really gets me is the Internet of Things, because they talked again, Gene Roddenberry and Star Trek, that everywhere in the ship you had devices that were connected together.
Right.
You know, and so they talk about Internet of Things being, you know, revolutionary, coming from these idealisms.
They'll all gang up on you in the end, though, right?
Yeah, that they do.
What happens when your devices go on strike?
Yeah. Don't know if that's going to happen or not, but they could, I suppose. And once AI takes over and
Yeah, there you go.
gains its
You don't-
consciousness.
You don't really need to be cooking that.
No. Stay out of the refrigerator.
Yep.
Let's see here. Oh, we talked about this one on the podcast, invisibility cloak. If you remember, we played that little video of the invisibility cloak that gentleman made. They're contributing that to Harry Potter.
Okay.
You know,
I think it was. I
and
think there was. It was before Harry Potter, wasn't it?
that's the one they're contributing it to. But yeah, I mean, you go back to Star Trek, and they're cloaking the bird of prey.
Right.
So
Right.
how far does it go?
Well, Highlander has a comment about the self-healing products. Are they mil-spec?
Oh,
I don't
good
know.
question. I don't
think
know.
they're
I'd take a look at it.
I think they're still in R&D, aren't they?
I'm sure I'm sure they're still in the R&D process.
Right.
But I can definitely look into that for you, Highlander, and get some information on that to find out more about them, because I would like to know.
Sure.
You know, that'd be good to know.
That would be an environment where it would make the most sense.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh yeah, especially when it comes into robotics and lots of moving pieces and where areas of wear and tear could take place.
Yeah,
you know?
high probability that there's going to be damage.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
about the Predator? With the invisible, was an invisible alien? Like you couldn't see him.
Yeah, that's true. He was pretty much invisible and cloaked, but had the
Yeah.
heat signature, being able to see him using heat signatures, right?
Was that a bodysuit that the Predator was wearing?
I believe.
And then it
Yeah,
opened up.
It was, wasn't it?
Trying to remember. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was in the 80s. That was like some of the first type of that green screen technology that they were using for that specific effect, I think.
Yeah,
That's pretty
You
cool.
guys want to know a fun fact about green screens?
go for it.
There are also blue screens and green screens.
What's the difference?
Green
Just
and
the
blue?
color. Yeah, pretty much just the color.
It's the color key.
You
that
know,
they-
Yeah,
the
it's the
blue-
color of the key. So
blue
if people
screen's
are
really
wearing
sad.
like blue, you obviously can't use a blue screen. People are wearing green, you can't use a green screen, so they switch the colors.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Wow. Good stuff. Oh, bionic limbs, $6 million man.
Yeah. And
You know?
Bionic Woman.
Yep.
Yep.
So there's just lots of stuff out there. I sent you that issue. NASA's actually working on a tractor beam right
I did
now.
see that. Yeah.
And so they're hoping next 10 years to have a tractor being built so they can go up into space and just simply start removing the
Towing
space
things,
junk.
Yeah.
Get rid of all this space junk that's floating around up there and clean up our,
Right.
our outer space limits.
I think it's a great idea.
So,
Yep.
but there's just lots over the years. Drones, gosh, there's 2001. Think about that. All the stuff, space stations that came out of that movie.
Right.
AI, HAL, being able to talk and interpret and have a, kind of a working mind of its own.
Yeah. Are they going to come up with a lasso of truth from Wonder Woman?
I'm buying it.
Yeah. There you go. Right.
They get that, I'll buy it. Oh boy, wow, just like that, a half hour
Time
gone.
flies,
I
yeah.
know, right? Again, to our production crew,
Thank you.
thank all of you over there. We appreciate everything you guys do.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Well, for now, hey, really important here. Like, subscribe, and share this podcast.
Yes, please do. We
Yeah.
appreciate it.
We're growing organically right now, so let's organically keep growing. All right. Like, subscribe, and share, and we'll catch you on Thursdays at 3:00. For now, I'm Mark Beach.
John Dotson. Stay cool.
Yes, stay cool, stay frosty.
Stay frosty.